It is Friday, July 12th, and it is roughly 7:40 in the evening. Just gonna vlog here for a few minutes. It'll probably wind up being longer than a few minutes, but whatever. I started this whole process last year when I got this specific teaching position. Swore up and down that I was gonna do like a daily kind of journal as a way to kind of vent and talk about celebrations and cool things like that come along with teaching, and some of teaching isn't always perfect and great, and so just kind of a place for me to talk, get my thoughts down, and then in the hopes that might help other teachers that are out there and struggle with the same things, or have some of the same successes, and kind of just as a resource in a journal for myself. So I swore up and down I was going to do that daily or weekly or monthly or something like that, and things got crazy and that never wound up happening. So I am going to try to kind of keep up with that better this year. So this is my second year, so I'm coming back to the same school. So it's my second year at this specific school in this specific district. This will be my 6th year overall teaching, but again, my second year at this position. For those of you that have watched the other videos, I had not had very good luck teaching before I got this position. Lots of crazy things kind of happened along the way, just all kinds of stuff. Before I took this position, I honestly thought that I was not ever going to be able to come back to teaching, that I had just wasted, however many years of schooling that it took me to get through. I had just finished up a master's program, had gone through a really, really bad experience in a different district where I actually resigned in the middle of the year. Partially my own fault for not keeping myself healthy and like mentally healthy, and kind of taking care of myself in that way, and just kind of letting things get worse and worse and worse and not seeking help for those things. And so I actually did resign in the middle of the year that year, and after that I swore that I would never go back to teaching because I'd had so many terrible experiences. So I took some time off because I resigned in December, wound up just kind of honestly stumbling upon this position that I'm in now. Applied for it, I got offered the job that day, and it really was just kind of a Hail Mary for me, like, all right, this is it, this is the last time I'm going to do this is the last time I'm going to put myself out there. And had absolutely the best teaching year ever last year. Like, it was so amazing. I love the position I'm in. I love the kids out here. I love the other teachers, my colleagues. Administration was absolutely wonderful. Lots of support. Just overall an amazing year in a position where I can really excel, and I'm allowed a lot of flexibility to do what I want to do, because I do reading and math RTI for the entire school, and it was not a position that was here before I came into play. And so they kind of just gave me free reign, like, hey, whatever curriculum you want to use, like whatever ideas you have, like, do what you need to do, which is great for me, because a lot of the time I feel like we get into teaching positions and we know what's best for the kids, and so we want to teach it a certain way or do it a certain way. However, we're told that we can't do it that way or teach it that way, and so you're kind of micromanaged along the way, and you're being told to do something that you know is not best for the kids. So that's not the case here. I absolutely love my position that I'm in and what I do, and so I'm coming back obviously for a second year. I don't foresee myself leaving this position or this school anytime soon. Back to why I am vlogging specifically tonight is because it is about 3 weeks before we are coming back to school. So like I said, today is July 12th, and opening day for teachers is August 12th. I have about 3 weeks to get my class classroom organized, set up, ready, set to go for the kids when they come back. So I'm coming out tonight with a couple goals in mind, a couple projects that I want to complete and get done, and then obviously I'll have to come back a couple times each week and do a couple things each time that I come back to get it all done in 3 weeks. So tonight I am planning on, or I guess goal number 1 is to decorate the bulletin board in my classroom. So I still even have stuff on there from last year. I did not take that down when I left because I wasn't sure if I was going to want to redecorate it or what I was going to want to do with it, and so I kind of just left it there in case I wanted to use any of that stuff. So that stuff's still up there, so I have to take that stuff down and then put new paper up, new border up, new letters up on there and get that decorated. That's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to string fairy lights on the ceiling. So that's something that I did last year kind of randomly. I think it was like Halloween or something was coming up, and the whole hallway, or we have like teams kind of that we basically, your team is your hallway, but like our whole hallway was decorating, and so I bought some purple and orange fairy lights to hang on the ceiling, and the kids were absolutely obsessed with them, loved them. And so I did take those down at the end of last year because I knew I was going to want to restring some in a different color because I didn't want Halloween lights up for the entire year, even though I left them up last year, but I just did that because the kids really liked them. My room's kind of cool in the sense that 2 of my walls, so my left wall and my back wall, are all completely windows, and those windows look out onto the library. We don't ever actually have to turn our lights on in our classroom because when they turn the lights on in the library, we draw in enough light from that to where it keeps it like at this really nice like dim lighting in my room. And so then I hang the fairy lights, and it's just like a super, everyone that walks in there is like, oh my gosh, it feels so like calm in here, which I guess is kind of my goal. If you walk in there and you feel calm, then you're in a better learning environment. You just feel better. I think overall it just makes it better in there. Nobody wants to be sitting in a boring classroom. So that's my second goal. Sorry, trying to back up and talk at the same time. Third goal, which I'm going to be honest is probably going to be the one that does not get done tonight. It'll probably get done on a different day. On those 2 walls, how I said that they are all windows, well, they have like metal dividers in between each window. So like they go up and down and across. And to kind of limit some of the distractions from my kids looking out into what's going on in the library, last year I had a really good idea. I took like a bunch of math vocab words and their definitions and like a picture to go with them, and I printed those on like really pretty, like it's just like 8x10 paper, but like it's all different colors. Like it starts at one end of the rainbow and goes across the spectrum of every single color ever possible that you can think of. And so I printed them on that paper, then I laminated every single one of them. And then I got like adhesive magnets, and I stuck them to the back of those little pieces of paper that I did that were laminated. And then I magnetized them up and down each divider of the window. So then it winds up taking up a huge part of the actual window. So there's really not a whole lot of space for like the kids to even see anything that's going on down there. And then like on the very bottom row, I wound up putting up curtains. I did like a donors choose project for that because there was no way that the kids their feet wouldn't touch the bottom row windows. So I did actually put curtains at the bottom, but the middle row and then the top row, I put those posters on. So camera cut out, no idea why. The middle and bottom row, I put those posters on, and that really cut down on those distractions. So I took those down at the end of the year when I packed up my classroom, because I knew the custodians would want to clean the windows off, and I didn't want to make it more difficult for them to do that. And so I wound up taking those down and keeping them organized in alphabetical order by color, and I stuck those in like a bin in my desk. So I'm going to, hopefully tonight, but again, if there's one thing I don't get to tonight, it's going to be this. And then I want to hang those back up and organize them kind of how I had already had them. It is kind of a longer process because you have to kind of map out ahead of time how you're going to want those to go, because if you're even just a little bit off on your spacing, you'll have like one extra left over, or a couple of them won't fit correctly. So you kind of have to think about it and map it out ahead of time. That would potentially be the one thing that I don't get to tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and stop here because, as you could see, I just pulled in, and I'm gonna unload my stuff and get up there to my classroom, which should be super, super clean. I think the floors have already been waxed because they won't let us back into the building until they are. Windows should be clean, like everything should be spick and span, ready to go. So I'm gonna unpack my stuff, get up there, get started on the few things that I want to do tonight. It is currently 7:50. I will touch base when I come back out tonight to go home. I would imagine I'm probably at least going to be in here a couple hours, and it takes me about 40 minutes to get home. So I'm going to be kind of rushed to get home at a decent time. But that's kind of the way it goes. I will touch base when I leave here. Okay. I promised last night that I would jump back on and touch base with you guys after I left, kind of what I accomplished out of the goals that I had set for the couple hours that I was going to be able to be there. However, when I got in my car, it was super dark out because it was around 10 o'clock, maybe closer to 10:30. And so I had no way to kind of record the way that I have it set up in the car. And I didn't want to keep like my dome lights on or anything. So I did not jump back on and touch base last night. So I am doing that today. So it is just the next day. I am out working my summer job that I have because I'm a teacher and I make not enough money. So I have to actually work during the summer. So that's what I'm out doing now. So I just thought I have a few minutes kind of touch base with you guys. When I got there and got into my classroom last night, the way that my room is set up, because I have to have technology with a lot of the programs that I use for math and reading instruction, requires technology. So it's kind of set up like a lab. And the way that I had left it organized to make it easier on myself to reset back up all the computers, it was not put back that way. When I got there, a lot of my time, which I wasn't anticipating, was spent reorganizing and getting those computers set back where they needed to be, getting the tables back where they needed to be, getting my desk moved back where that needed to be, because they came in, they waxed the floors, cleaned the windows, they cleaned the whole room and that whole thing. And so nothing was put back the way that I had it when I left. So that was time spent, probably 30 or 40 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, that I was not anticipating having to spend doing. With that being said, I finished half of my bulletin board, not due to the fact that I had to reorganize everything in the room, but just because I ran out of the paper that I want to put on there. I had a roll of it at home that we used for some other stuff at some other point in time at the house. I think we use it as like shipping material or something. Thought I had enough on that roll and that I would not need to buy another roll. So basically I did the top half of the bulletin board and kind of left that like that, and I'll stop at Target at some point today or tomorrow and grab some more of the paper that I want to put up there. I did get the lights hung, which was a big task to do, and it's not an easy one to do on your own, especially when you don't have a ladder. Actually last year when I put those other lights up, I wound up falling off of the chairs that I was standing on and onto a shorter filing cabinet, and I had a bruise on like the back of my leg for a really long time. So I had to be very careful this time so that did not happen again. But I did get the lights hung and they look really, really good. Super happy with using the cool white instead of the orange and purple. I think the kids will really like it when they come back, and it gives off a little bit more light than the purple and orange did, so I think that's also a good thing. So I did get that done, got half the bulletin board done, got the room reorganized. I still have to wire up all the computers, which I'll have to take my husband with me to do that, because that is more than I can deal with. And it's just, it becomes a mess when you have 30 computers and 30, power cords and 30 monitor cords and 30 Ethernet cords, and it just becomes a hot mess. And so he really helps me get that together in a way that it stays organized so it doesn't drive me insane. So he'll have to help me come do that. I still have a ton of more stuff that I gotta take care of there. I haven't even this is literally just the beginning. I have a ton more to do, and I'll keep you guys updated throughout the whole process. I did take some pictures last night, some before and after pictures, and so I'll post those with the bulletin board and the lights and stuff. I'll post those probably with this video somehow. I'm sure my husband will edit this, and so hopefully he'll be able to just stick them in there somehow. I did not get the posters hung on the windows, like the magnet posters that I talked about. I did not get that done because, you know, it was like after 10 o'clock, and I realized, and I still had like to clean up and wash my hands, and then it's a 40-minute drive home. So I did not get that done, but that was okay. That was the one thing that I said it wasn't really that big of a deal that I accomplished. That's, you know, minus having to kind of plan ahead and make sure that they're laid out correctly and organized correctly. That's not super hard to do. I do plan on going back maybe, so today is Saturday. I plan on going back probably Sunday evening. If not, it'll be most likely Monday evening. So probably tomorrow or Monday. Definitely sometime this week. I would like to really get back out there tomorrow. I still have to stop at Target and grab a few things, but other than that, I have lots of stuff that I can do there. And I think my sister is going to be going with me this next time because she likes to kind of help out and do that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to take her with me, and then hopefully that'll allow me to focus on some stuff while she's also doing some stuff for me. So that'll be helpful. Other than that, I think that's going to be it for this vlog. Like I said, I'll post the pictures of the before and after when I get those together in the video, and I'll post a link to the fairy lights that I hung in my classroom because I'm sure if anyone watches this, they could possibly be interested in getting some of those, so I'll post that link as well. Thanks for watching.